Hello, everyone. We have, in my opinion, a very important interview today, and three women that don't want to be identified, I understand, except for by their juror numbers. We have juror 3, juror 14, and juror 1 when it comes to the James Craig trial. In other words, justice for Angela Craig. We just saw justice for Angela Craig be served, and we have 3 of the female jurors with us today. They're actually all in the same place. I saw them all. I sat through a lot of that trial, not all of it, but a lot of it, covered the rest of it from home on WebEx. And this, I do recognize all 3 of them. They were jurors. Juror 14, I want to say, I'm sorry, you ended up being an alternate juror, which was very difficult for you. Is that right? After everything was said and done?
Yes, it was. It was difficult.
It was difficult, but all of the jurors came back with a guilty verdict. James Craig was found guilty of first-degree murder in killing his wife of 23 years, the mother to his 6 children, using arsenic, cyanide, oleander, Visine eye drops, a horrific case. And so I just want to understand the process. It's so interesting talking to jurors after a trial, after justice has been served. And my goodness, first off, I think I want to ask why you 3 are choosing to do this interview. Can we start with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
For me, this is juror number 3. For me,
Okay.
We're in touch with all the other jurors, and it's a struggle. I know it's only been a week since we've been in deliberation, but after and going back to work and being able to talk about it with our families, it's not as easy as one might think. So seeing you, a familiar face, right? And my aunt watches you and other family members watch you. This might be a little bit of a healing process for me to talk to you. So.
Understand.
And this is juror number 1. I felt that for people that maybe aren't excited to do their civic duty, it's important because we may be going through things, but somebody told me you have initiated the healing process for the family, and that was very important to hear. And I also wanted to support the other jurors who were going to speak tonight.
Thank you. Juror 14.
So, my perception, it was just rough. I went through the whole thing. I took 100+ pages of notes. I was very invested, and then to get put out in the hallway and then get brought back in and tell you and then be released was just awful. I agree and support all of my fellow jurors. They did everything that I felt also, but it was tough because I had to wait for the verdict with everybody else after I had been there.
Yeah. I can't imagine being chosen as an alternate after listening to everything, and what you guys had to hear was so difficult. I noticed some of you crying at times, especially during the testimony of the daughters. I noticed tears. Can I ask, I think I want to ask, well, first off, were you able to meet any of Angela's family after the verdict came down?
We did. We were notified by one of the sheriffs or the bailiff that some of the kids wanted to speak with us. And so we agreed that we could do that. And when the kids were there, I don't know if the rest of the family heard or they also had intended to come up, but they also came up, Angela's brothers and sisters. And so it was cathartic for both sides, I think. There were hugs, there were so many tears, and just a feeling of just completion, if that makes sense. Just, we saw it full circle, at least for the jurors that were there. We saw what all of that trauma that we heard, it put a lid on it. And to know and see the family be so grateful for that, it was very nice. It was very, very comforting.
Yeah. Did any of you know about the James Craig case or any of this before serving on the jury?
No,
No, I just moved here
I did
in
not.
2023. So
I don't watch the news. It's depressing.
I did not know.
I remember hearing the headline, but we don't have cable, so we don't watch news, or so it was. Yeah, everything was brand new.
Yeah. Well, and I will say, when it comes to this case, and one reason I chose to cover it was it didn't get as much attention as I thought it might. I think the family is quite private, understandably, and they've been quiet, and but I felt it was so important to cover. So, you know, I mean, it clearly has gotten international attention, yet at the same time, not the amount that I thought it would have received. So when you're called for jury duty, you sit down for that first day. Did you understand at that moment? Did they explain this is a murder trial, or how did they explain this when you were finally chosen to be on the jury?
Yeah.
So when we got called in, there was 3 different groups. So a morning group, late morning, and an early afternoon group. So when I went in, the early morning group, I think we were all in there together.
Were we all together?
In the first
Yeah.
group? Yeah.
I think so. So we checked in, and we were given a questionnaire, a lengthy one, and it stated in there what the case was, what the trial was going to be. And we turned it in. We received another number, and if that number was posted on the site the next day, we were supposed to report on Monday, which we did, and that was a full day with 167 members of the pool. That I think there was 7
more, because there were 2 rooms.
Right. So I think there was 700 total,
Yeah.
and then they brought it down to 167, and then we were there all day
On Monday.
Monday,
yeah.
the day before the trial started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you hear all of the evidence. Of course, all of us sitting in the gallery or reporting on are wondering what all of you are thinking. Most of the time, I will say, it was hard to read all of your emotions, except for that day where I did see tears. What was it like hearing the evidence? Was the defense compelling at all?
I think the prosecution did such a great job with facts and details that could not be argued. I think the defense had a really tough go of it, as far as just coming up with any kind of plausible
Doubt.
Sure.
Yes, plausible doubt. There's just so much factual information that was presented that it was really, really hard to think, or, that in the end, we found him guilty because of all that evidence. So the prosecution definitely did its job.
Let's jump to you and your fellow jurors finding him guilty. Take me to the deliberation room. How did that go? I mean, let's be honest, you guys took a while. Well, I mean, there were a lot of counts, but you didn't come back until the next day. What was it like in the deliberation room? Were there any holdouts or anyone that had some questions?
I think as far as getting into, I can talk about my holdout, my experience. This is juror 3.
Okay.
And juror 1 kind of helped me out. The biggest holdout was the 6, I believe it was
Number 5.
this 5 or 6.
Yeah.
The what was it?
Solicitation.
Of first degree
for
murder.
First degree
With
murder.
Casey Buchanan.
That was the Casey Buchanan.
Nate Harris.
With Nate Harris, with
Sorry.
Nathaniel
Nate
Harris.
Harris with okay, I get those two mixed up too. Okay, so
I
Nate
know.
Harris, ex-wife or estranged wife, Causey.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
So there was a holdout, and that's actually the count that took the longest. We went back and forth. We went through all of the evidence. And prior to getting to that holdout, there was jurors that wanted to go through a lot of evidence, and it was okay. I mean, that's what we're there to do, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But juror number 1 helped me get to that guilty part by, you know, if you want to share what you said to me is fine. And,
Yeah.
you know,
So
we didn't have a lot.
we didn't have a lot on that charge. However, based on the instructions that we had, we could use things that the defendant had demonstrated, either in behavior, emotion, body language. And my feeling was that psychology is a science and can be used as evidence if you know patterns, behaviors, and I do have a background in that. So we could say that the defendant's behavior was consistent. It followed a pattern, and it was as much evidence as the testimony that Nate Harris provided.
That makes sense. So it does make sense. And there were other solicitation charges and
Correct.
following the pattern. Right.
Correct. Very, and every solicitation or every crime that he committed after that was escalating in behavior. And so it was not, it was not out of his demonstration of his behaviors. So.
Right. Well said. Thanks for taking us into, that sort of difficult deliberation you guys do. But when it comes to first degree murder, was everybody feeling by the time you got to the deliberation room similarly? Did you learn?
Yes, absolutely. Everybody was unanimously. We did our due process. We went through the evidence. We went through text. Yes,
Everything.
we went through everything just to make sure that we were doing everything that we could to not interfere with the decisions that we made, that it was solid.
And so throwing out charge 7 almost was just that's what happened, which is this idea that there was the defense's argument that he maybe aided in self-harm. That was just not an issue.
Correct. Our understanding was that was something that James Craig and the defense requested, and the judge,
end, right?
Yes, at the end. And so the judge felt there was enough evidence to support that. I'm not sure if I'm wording that right, but there was enough information that could be an option for us. So, but there was never that option for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, true crime isn't the only thing that keeps me up at night. I didn't realize I was grinding my teeth until the headaches got worse and then a sore jaw. At first, I thought it was stress because, let's be honest, I live in murder trials. But John finally told me I'm a teeth grinder. Great. Well, now what? That's when I found Remy. And thank goodness I did. If you're one of the 30% of Americans who grind their teeth, you need to protect that smile. And Remy is the best solution I've found. It's a custom fit night guard that's 80% less than what you'd pay at a dentist and way easier. Here's how it works. They send you an impression kit straight to your door. It comes with super clear step-by-step instructions. Took me maybe 5 minutes. You send it back and they craft a custom fit night guard right here in the US in Las Vegas. A few days later, I had a night guard that actually fit. No drooling, no discomfort, just peace of mind and fewer headaches. Remy even gives you a 45-night perfect fit guarantee, so there's zero risk, no waiting rooms, no outrageous dental bills, just a smarter way to protect your teeth while you sleep. Try Remy risk-free at shopremy.com/hidden and use code HIDDEN to get up to 50% off your night guard. That's shopremi.com/hidden, and don't forget to use code HIDDEN. Thanks to Remy for sponsoring this episode. For the three of you, and I know the order you're sitting, it's Juror 3, Juror 14, and Juror 1. What were some of the most compelling testimonies for you? Can we start with, well, we can start with whoever. Maybe just mention your number so we can understand
I go first?
who's talking.
Okay, this is juror number 3. Compelling for me was obviously both of his daughters.
Yes.
I'm a step parent. I don't have children of my own per se. And I just couldn't believe it. I just could not believe that he had one of his daughters go to the courthouse to bail. I just couldn't fathom that. And then another person that was, for me, as far as just evidence goes, believe it or not, was Oleg, and I can't pronounce his last name, but he was
neither can I, if it makes you feel better.
Right? He was the King Super guy, and that tied up for me that, and the judge was so great. I mean, everybody was so great, but I didn't want to form an opinion that soon because we're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But those were compelling witnesses for me.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oleg referring to the man who pulled the receipts from the
Yes.
King Superstore for the Visine eye drops that day.
Yes, for 2 different days in the time. And, my father is LDS, and him and his wife, their pantry is full. And that was one of the defense's defense, hey, they buy in bulk. So I'm familiar with that. But 19 bottles of Visine in a span of 2 days at 10:50 p.m., it was compelling. Oleg was compelling to me.
Right. So not only is he buying potassium cyanide, he's buying the Visine.
Correct. Yep.
What about the other two?
Yep, 14. I feel like
14.
for me also the daughters, the brother, the sister-in-law, and then him admitting to the fact that he ordered it all. Like how do you come back from that? You actually admitted, and the fact that he put his kids in that line of fire is like disgusting to me. But yeah, that was like there's too much evidence. Like he's literally admitting to it without admitting to it because he's trying to cover things up. And to involve your young kids is just awful. But yeah, once there was evidence that he had ordered it all and then admitted to mixing it all, saying what he said, it was like, I had no questions after that, but I couldn't say anything.
Right. You can't talk. You can't say,
Yeah.
oh,
I can't talk to anybody. I went home and lost my mind.
You went home and lost your mind. Oh.
I say that as a joke because my husband's like, how's your day? And I'm like, not great, but I can't talk about it. So how was your day?
Yeah. And at that point, I'm sure they're figuring out that you're covering a fairly high profile case.
Yes.
And it's,
Yes.
I
Yes.
can't imagine.
They have an understanding
Yes.
and just don't know what to do with it,
Mhm.
which
Right.
we don't either.
Right. I can't imagine that. In fact, I want to get into that, but really quickly, juror one, what testimonies affected?
Well, same as the other ladies. The second daughter who was sent to bail out, that was,
Yeah.
and it was her word, but it was also the letter that he wrote to her that we saw in the deliberation room. It was such, for a kiddo that age to be asked by her father, who she doesn't know any better, and just to be roped in like that. And so sweet and so innocent, and she wants to help dad, but yeah, that you expose your kids to the dangers that he did. There was also testimony that he had tried to, that with the, I think it was the Bobby Olson solicitation, that they should take pictures of Detective Hillstrand's son at a bus stop to intimidate Detective Hillstrand, and that his son would know, that James Craig's son would know how to find that Detective Hillstrand.
Yeah.
So it was those kinds of things. If anyone had taken him up on that within the system, the danger that those kids could have been in. And even, if when the testimony came that there were cyanide or, tetrahydroxy,
Visine.
Yeah, the Visine.
Yeah.
that it was placed in these cups, and kids take sips out of cups.
Yeah.
And that was also very compelling. Like, there's just nothing that you do not think of if it's not about yourself.
Right. Yeah. Take me back. I mean, you already touched on it a bit. How was it like covering this trial? It was so heavy. I know, because I was reporting on it. Can imagine what each of you are dealing with. You're going home and you can't talk to your significant others or your family. How did you guys handle this day in and day out?
I personally, I couldn't sleep, Lauren. So we typically had to report between 8 and 8:15 every day. And I mean, I was waking up at 3:00 in the morning. I could not sleep. And I would just jump on the treadmill, jump on the weights, and just work out. And that kind of helped me clear my head. But yeah, try to go to bed early, because you're not talking to your partner, your significant other. You just, there's nothing to say, So working out helped me a little bit.
Yeah. Right. I mean, this must have been so hard. You couldn't sleep. Juror 14.
Oh, well, same. Yeah, I was hardly sleeping. I had no appetite. I mean, it was just a mess. And not a mess. I shouldn't say that. It was a mess for me, because it's like, I want to go home and talk to my husband, but I can't. So it was the same. I mean, it just was tough. And you don't sleep. I woke up at like 2, 3 a.m. just with anxiety. And then you walk into the room with anxiety. Like, every day we had to walk in there, my stomach was like turning. Yeah.
For juror 1, the same thing, just knots in the stomach, having trouble getting to sleep, not being able to stay asleep. And my husband asking, how was jury today? And I'd say it was bad or it was good. And he'd say, I'm sorry. And that was it. Because they know you can't say anything. You can't talk about it. My coping was a little different because my daughter is starting to learn how to drive. So I would go pick her up from activities and she would drive home, and it would put that right out of my mind for just a bit because and then I'd experience a different kind of anxiety.
Right. I was like a different fear. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. How did you guys feel after you were able to announce the verdict? Was there relief?
Definitely relief. But it was also, for me at least, it was a feeling of loneliness.
Mm-hmm. Boom.
Oh,
That's it right there.
Gosh.
That's it right there. I agree.
I just told my husband
Yes.
I felt isolated.
Yes.
I felt
Exactly.
isolated.
Yes.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
Yes.
Oh, now I'm about to cry.
good.
Okay.
And that is, you have to hold on to your emotions through all of this
Yes.
and put on this poker face,
Yep.
not say anything to anybody about it. The feeling of isolation and loneliness, because we did have to work at keeping our faces straight, at not showing emotion, at pretending that, oh, we just had a day at jury when you got home. And then once that gate was opened, it was almost like, where do I start? How do I even talk about this horrible thing that has happened?
Mhm.
I didn't have enough time to process how I was going to talk about it or what that was going to feel like. And when people started to ask questions, it felt intrusive in the beginning when we could talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. It's tough.
Like, how do you even process it with that? Like, how do you even like,
Correct. I'm not even sure that there's a sense of dissociation. You cannot believe that you have just heard
Yes.
the deception, the pure
Evil.
and selfishness that a human could put another human through.
Yeah.
There's so many, I can't believe it. Did I really just hear all of this?
His own
Because in the
life.
moment,
Yeah.
in the moment where you're busy taking notes, and so you're writing it all down, and you don't have time to think about what you really heard until the end of the day or the night, or when you're talking with someone, and then it kind of gets you in the gut all over again.
Yeah. And you did hear a lot of deception, a lot of evil, a lot of manipulation. Yeah. Did you know that this was possible? I mean,
No.
I mean,
No.
no.
I sat in the jury room. Juror number 3, sat next to juror number 14. We sat right next to each other. And I think it was Thursday, the first week, when both daughters were the end of the day. And we came back to the room and we were waiting to get escorted home. And my eyes were puffy, her eyes were puffy. And I literally lost a piece of humanity that day.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I hope I get it back because, I work with kids, I don't know. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Difficult.
Yeah, that was well said.
Mhm.
We couldn't always see James Craig reactions because we sat behind him. Would he
Yes.
look at you? What was he doing throughout the trial?
Oh my God.
Okay, we're gonna have juror number 1 tell you
Yes.
because
I
she's
agree.
gonna be spot on, and
I agree.
with her background, she understands this.
I agree.
Go ahead.
So it was a very intentional way that he reacted, and specific to certain pictures that would go up on the monitors. So he would go between the sobbing, but there were no tears.
Okay. I wondered about that because I would
Yes.
see that sometimes, but I couldn't. I was
There
too
was-
far away.
a bright red face, but there were no tears. It was very put on, I felt.
Okay.
And then there were times when he would, if a witness was providing testimony that was shocking or something that was accusatory in nature, he would do this thing where his mouth would hang open and he would just put on a bewildered face, like, why are you saying this? You know this is wrong. It's a lie.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree. Yes.
And then there was the stare downs that he had with Nate Harris. There was no love lost between those two.
Okay, I was wondering how he acted to the inmates, the snitches. Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yes. So those were the typical reactions that we saw, but none of them seemed genuine.
Okay.
The one that he reacted to repeatedly was where one of the daughters is in bed with mom at the hospital. He reacted to that one with prolific sobbing each and every time.
The photo of the little one.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes. So
Just
very,
real
very
sobbing, like sobbing tears in that moment.
I don't think so. There was tissue up to the eyes, but he was able to control himself quite quickly. And suddenly the red would go out of his face and he would be composed, which is not behavior that when I've seen somebody fall apart, that is consistent.
Right.
So he was, in my opinion, was trying to continue to manipulate the jury with his reactions to this.
He was trying to manipulate the jury. Yeah,
Yes,
all of you.
Absolutely. By doing all of these facial expressions and trying to
Act shocked.
Yes.
Act shocked. Like on things like, why are you shocked? You literally admitted to doing this. Why are you shocked? And with his mouth open.
Yes.
I know what you're saying, because he would be like, what? That never happened.
Yes.
And then it would literally be like, no, it literally happened.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. A good point, because he did admit, while he in the end admitted or confessed to saying, look, I just aided in, her desire to self-harm. He did admit and confess to doing this, right? So
yes.
Yeah. Gosh. And what about the sugar babies? That's how the court referred to them, or his multiple affairs.
oh God.
I mean, I guess that was mostly for motive, right? But did those affect any of you?
I mean, for me, I still will tell you, and I said this in the deliberation room. Motive was weak for me.
Yeah.
It was very, very weak. But the sugar babies, I felt bad that they had to testify. I felt bad for them. But I really, really wanted to give Karen Kane.
Oh yes.
Some
grace.
I wanted to give her a hug when she, was dismissed, because she looked heartbroken, deceived, just played after going through a terrible divorce, never being with anybody else for 30 years, I believe.
And then he played her.
That tore me up a little bit.
Yeah.
So if that was motive, because it seemed she was very spiritual, they were in the same field. Maybe that was motive. I don't know. Motive was still very, very light for me.
Did you all feel that way?
No. I did not feel that way.
I live to you like that. I don't either, because I think he was just selfish and he wanted to have his cake and eat it too. And
That's
when
juror
he learned,
14.
and,
Yeah.
and when he learned, yes, it's juror 14. And when he learned that he couldn't have both, he did what he had to do, because he had Karen King come the same week he killed his wife.
Hmm.
I just think he's a selfish human being, and he hurt so many people.
Yeah, I'm not saying
And
that
it
he's
breaks
not
my heart.
evil.
No, you're not.
You know,
no, yeah.
I'm not saying that he's not a psychopath, narcissistic, evil person, but why? I mean, there was no reason.
Well,
I don't think
He's just
yeah.
I just think he was selfish
Yeah.
and wanted to have all of their relationships that
Yeah.
he could.
Yeah.
right.
That's all I think his motive is,
Mhm.
just wanting everything.
I
Yeah.
think for me, juror 1, it was motive.
No, I love it.
Just because there is a pathology that is out there that you can describe and see what the benefit was to him. Image was very important,
Mhm.
as well as his self-importance as far as being able to travel the world to do all of these conferences, and the importance that the self-importance and the admiration that he got from these sugar babies. It's power.
Yeah.
And then with Karen Kane, here's an orthodontist with a successful business. And what would be better for your image than to merge those two worlds together?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it was definitely fitting with at least what I thought was a narcissistic personality disorder.
Mhm.
I concur. Yeah. What are your thoughts, by the way? What do you think is agree wrong with
Yeah,
this man?
narcissistic.
Sorry, that's what
Narcissistic.
Like
I
to a
mean,
T.
yeah.
Like he's literally the most narcissistic, selfish person I've ever
yeah.
encountered.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't
Yeah.
think you tried to use sex addiction and maybe, but
I think it was ego.
I think it was ego.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was ego also. Sorry.
And it didn't seem like for somebody with sex addiction, it is very difficult to treat. But it seems that if his wife knew, and which she did everything to help him try to. It didn't sound like he had stayed in counseling for very long. This can be a lifelong battle for a couple that's gone through it. So I just felt that he was going through the motions.
Yeah.
But then he would do it again. But again, the motive was self-serving.
Right. Absolutely.
And as far as Karen Kane, she also has my sympathy. The other, to me, it was consenting adults.
Mhm.
Everybody made their choices.
Everybody else.
Yeah.
But-
I don't have sympathy for them.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Karen,
He knew he was married.
Karen had a completely different experience.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
she was an unfortunate
Victim.
victim in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Would it have made a difference? Did you guys want him to testify? Were you hoping?
Yes. Yes. We did.
Oh, did you not?
I didn't
We
think
just
he
yelled.
would. No, I didn't
No,
think he
yeah.
would.
Oh,
I didn't think he would either.
But I hoped he would.
But I was hoping the narcissistic part of him, he would want to
Mhm.
come up there and explain.
Yep.
If you're and I do have to say, I think both the prosecuting side, the state, and the defense, and the judge, they were awesome human
Yes.
beings. They, I'm a coach, so I believe in sportsmanship. I don't want anybody to, play unfair. They were all very professional.
Everybody did.
Respectful to one
job.
another. They all did their job. But yeah, I wanted the defense attorneys to tell him, you need to get up there. If you're going to use
Your kids.
you know,
Ideation or this idea
yeah,
or a pact, right? A pact. Let's call it a pact. Yeah, what it is.
yes, this pact, then you need to get up and explain this. Don't have me cross witnesses to get to pull this out of them. So I was hoping, I didn't think he would, but
Hopeful.
we were all hopeful, I think.
I'm sure it was at the advice of the defense attorneys. They were very
I'm
smart
sure.
ladies, very smart ladies.
Very
and
smart.
I'm sure it was on their advice. Do not take that stand.
Right.
Because the prosecution would have just
Yeah.
destroyed him.
Obliterated him. Yeah.
But I didn't think he had anything to lose at that point,
Right.
Sure.
Why not?
They had to have known.
Well, with appeals and all that stuff.
Yeah, true. Very, very true.
Would it have made a difference to any of you if he had testified? Were you hoping for some little nugget, or as you're saying, he had nothing to lose? You kind of saw the writing on the wall.
So can I say, because
Yes.
I didn't even get to decide on
Yes,
the
go
verdict.
ahead. Go 14.
I would say it did make a difference. I knew he was guilty. I just wanted to hear if he would have anything to say.
Yeah.
Nothing would have changed on how I felt, but I was curious if he was going to talk. And he didn't, which also I kind of said a lot.
Yeah.
So yes, that's my thought on it, and I didn't get to deliberate on it, but I thought he would have. And
I think we all kind of looked at each other,
Like-
all 14 of us, because I don't know if you know, Lauren, the second week we lost Jurors. So the last week and a half, I believe, we were only 14. So we all kind of looked at each other when the defense rest, and we were like, oh, wow. I mean, we really didn't expect that, and closing, I mean, I think I watch, true crime and ID and all that. I think, what's his last name? I always mess it up.
Mike Morrow.
Mike Morrow had the best closing arguments that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an excellent. It was excellent. Yeah. I agree. I concur as someone that also dabbles in true crime. Yeah. So,
amazing.
it was excellent closing arguments. I agree.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that his defense attorneys were female. How did you react to them? Did you think they did a good job?
Who was his initial?
Oh, so yeah. Can we talk about this, Lauren?
Who was his initial defense attorney?
We had no idea that I didn't know that this
Harvey?
was his fourth attorney until they started reading letters, and then I found out after, and there's arson and this and this and this. What happened?
Yeah, I have no clue.
We had no idea. Did you?
I remember.
So I wasn't following every turnaround of attorneys, but right before the trial, his two attorneys were a husband and wife team, Moses. And there was a situation, arson. And
her husband?
That was her husband?
Wait, what? I don't even know how to, what?
he burned the house down. Like,
I don't even know how to, what?
We thought the trial would be pushed back. We thought, oh, this trial is going to be pushed back now again. And the judge is like, nope, moving forward. So there was new defense co-counsel, and they moved forward.
So Lisa Moses, that was her husband?
You guys had no idea, but for those of us following the case, it was a fascinating twist that this case couldn't get more wild. So so here we are. This is attorney for Aurora dentist accused of poisoning wife. The one arrested has been now arrested for alleged arson. and he withdraws on the eve of the trial. His name is Robert Working, and he was the second attorney for the James Craig trial, and he is married to Lisa Moses.
I didn't
Oh
know that.
my
We did not know
gosh.
that.
Why is that okay?
Oh my gosh.
Why is that okay?
So yeah, that happened on. So this is Robert Working withdrew as counsel for murder suspect James Craig on Tuesday, just 2 days after his arrest, and just 10 days before Craig's murder trial was set to start. And so yeah, and then his Working owned the home that burned with his wife, Lisa Fine Moses. So. Yeah, and then attorney Ashley Whitham joined the team on June 18th. So she was part of the team, but
Yay.
But not.
Well, that would explain some
I
things.
have like goosebumps.
Wow.
I don't really know how to process that.
I mean,
so you didn't know that about, yeah. I was watching attorney Moses throughout the entire thing because of knowing what she had just gone through.
oh
That
my
her
gosh.
husband
I had no
burned the
idea.
house down. Literally, you say that like
Yeah,
he has nothing to lose. He's just gonna burn the house down. He did it. So yeah, that happened. So with that what'd you guys think of his defense team?
She's
Well,
a badass.
Well, we thought, yeah,
We loved her,
we loved both of them, but Lisa,
Interesting.
yeah, we
Well, loved them because
As-
we felt like they were doing their job and they were strong women. We hate the position that they were in.
yes,
But
I
we,
mean,
but we respected them.
yes,
Yeah.
respected.
We could tell like they were both.
They didn't go through the motions. They really worked. I mean, they did the best they could with the hand that they
Yes.
clearly were dealt.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
You know,
That's interesting to hear. That's good to hear. I actually am always curious what the jurors think of the defense team. And I've always noticed with jurors that sometimes some attorneys appeal to them more than other attorneys. And so I respect that you respected them and what they're doing. Their job is difficult and that you thought they did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Women, nonetheless,
That's
Yeah.
right.
No, they did their job.
Yeah.
They did. They did. And of course, the prosecution, how did you feel they did?
Oh, I mean, when they initially, for me, when they put Bobby Olson on the stand in the beginning and they said a couple questions and we'll get back to you. When they ended with her and they tied up the entire timeline, I mean, they were phenomenal. All three of them were phenomenal. The two ladies that were, I believe they're paralegals behind them. I might be mispronounced, or not saying their correct jobs, and I apologize. And then Bobby Olson every day there with them. It spoke volumes, you know. And I know that there was a little bit of a question like, oh, you didn't get this tested and this and this. There's budgets, I thought they were great.
And relevancy. I mean, they were moving as quick as the case was.
Yes.
And so they just had so much that was occurring and evolving throughout the whole 2 years that they were able to do as well as they did.
He kept writing letters.
Was amazing. Molly Harris also just powerful. It was, about girl power. Bobby Olson and Molly Harris as detectives on this.
Incredible,
did
right?
their jobs
They
and
were
they killed
amazing.
it. Killed it. Sorry, I don't mean that, but yes,
No,
they killed
yeah.
it. They killed it, and yes.
A lot of powerhouse women in this case, as you're pointing
took,
out.
like when they were being questioned, took the questions well,
Mhm.
took the degrading well, took all of it well.
Yeah.
It was
Cross, they were very well spoken, articulate, and there was a lot of confidence because what they knew they had was there were 2 and 3 artifacts of evidence that they could produce to corroborate and lend credibility to the investigation.
Yeah.
Can I add one thing, Lauren, to that
Please.
team?
Please.
Is for not knowing anything about the case or any person, they made Angela Craig alive in that courtroom.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
If that is the best way that I can explain, and I got it. I understood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question, was your thoughts on Angela Craig.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was a great mom, a
Mm-hmm.
great sister, a great daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anything bad beyond that, because we all go through shit, and
Mm-hmm.
I think she was killing it at everything she was doing.
Yeah.
So,
Spiritual
Yeah.
faith.
Yes.
mother, like
Mhm.
it sounds like she was just amazing.
She was.
And when you see who showed up to support her, I think that kind of
Speaks
Spoke.
volumes.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. She was even a great wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, even though.
Yeah, I agree with the sentencing when her sibling said you never deserved, a light like
Mhm.
Angela was. I was
Yes.
touched. You guys, it was mentioned in the press conference that many, if not all of you, went back to watch the sentencing. Did all of the jurors go back to watch the sentencing?
No. I personally couldn't do it. It was tough. I couldn't do it, and I couldn't do it, and I wish I would have actually, for the kids, but it was so hard.
Yeah. No. There were 8 of us that stayed. We were escorted around the front and led into the back of the gallery. And so we do know that I think the defense, or no, excuse me, Mr. Brackley mentioned it at the press conference that it was unusual for
The judge select.
for the jury to sit and watch the sentencing. So it was very powerful and a good testament to Angela.
Yes.
All those folks that got up to speak on her behalf. And she had an amazing family. She has
did.
an amazing family. Yes.
Mhm.
There was one comment made by the daughter Miriam that broke my heart. I mean, her entire sentencing victim impact statement broke my heart. All of them did. But at the very end, she apologized to everyone, just like, I'm sorry that we're all here. And somehow that just really affected me. Like, here she is, just clearly she's a caretaker like her mother. She has said she was her mother was her best friend, apologizing to everyone in that courtroom that they're even there. It was somehow just so heartbreaking to me.
It's funny that you say that, because I think week 2, at one point, it was the same family members that were there every day. And I just looked up one morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're all here because of one person, and this whole family, and jurors and defense and prosecutor and judge and bailiff, for one person to do this. It's heartbreaking.
Right. It is. One person caused this absolute pain and tragedy, and it will echo through generations,
Yes.
Yeah. All of you are friends now. Tragedy.
Yes.
Now we're connected for life.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about that. You're all together in the same room. They're all in the same room. Maybe I didn't even share that. You're all in the same room. We're not on different lines here. Tell me about how you've been able to support each other after, and how each of you are doing.
We have a chat group that Coach started. And so all of the jurors are on it. And we text back and forth. Somebody will post an idea, or and somebody did ask, how's everybody doing this weekend, or how's everybody coping? And so everybody's been very honest on the chat. We post silly, inane things as well.
Triggers.
Yes, triggers, we call them.
Because nobody else knows what we're going
No.
through. So we can post those things to
Right.
each other, but it
Yeah,
would be
it doesn't mean anything to anybody else, but
Yes.
it's how we coped and how we cope with
Yes.
reemerging back into this, what used to be, oh, it's just a boring average day. But I don't think, at least speaking for me, and I can probably speak for the rest of the group, our day will never be the same as before this trial. And there probably won't be a day that we don't think of Angela
Nope.
and her family.
And her family.
And her family. Yep. Her family is like literally on my mind
Mm-hmm.
all day, every day.
Yeah. So yeah, we have an activity that we'll be doing in a few next week, I think. So
Juror number 1 set it up.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's literally amazing.
my boss has very graciously offered to host us at her corporate Bronco suite, and it's for the jury and alternate. Yeah.
And alternates.
And alternate.
It's like a retreat
Well,
a little bit.
everybody was on the jury, but
Yeah.
you know, people that aren't with us. I mean, when we say the jury, we of course mean all of us.
Yes.
So
Right. Not just the 3 of you, but the
Correct.
entire jury.
the entire jury, and she wanted that for us. When she heard, because she would call and talk to me and see how I was doing, and I would tell her, you know, there's some of us in the jury that are struggling, and she said her heart went out immediately, and she said, what can I do? What can I do? And she said, I'm sure this is going to sound stupid, but what if I hosted one of the Broncos pre-games and you guys could just go cut loose? She said, I have regular seats, so I can go sit outside. And I said, no, you have to be in there with us to witness this miracle that is us now.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And but no, that's what we'll be doing in the next couple of weeks. And so we'll all get back together, see each other, and we're all excited. We're all talking about it. And yeah, she's going to have therapy dogs there for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say
I'm holding a dog.
Yeah.
that's what I want to ask you. You reminded me, did you know? Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Continue on.
No, we're done. No,
we're done.
We're done.
Okay. Did you know that there was a therapy dog in the courtroom at some point?
Oh.
No.
What?
Fancy.
Fancy.
There was a therapy dog named Fancy that both of the daughters were petting the entire time they testified.
Oh my God.
How did we not see
There
that?
goes my heart.
Oh, that's why we had to leave. Oh, that's why that we were
Yes.
we left. And then when we came back in, Miriam was on the stand, and then we left, and then Annabelle was on the stand.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
No, we did not know that.
No, I had no
And you know, this was Angela was a huge animal lover. They had many pets, and that was a process to allow that. There was objection by defense attorneys, you know, saying, I should say there were sidebars where they said their objection. I guess I don't know for a fact, but they would say we continue our objection, but you never actually heard that the objection was for the dog. I just am assuming it was implied. But they had to meet several times, and they had the trainer of the dog. The dog was so well behaved. They did a practice run, and I could see the entire time, and both of the daughters, both of the girls, they're women, excuse me, but you know, Angela's girls.
Yes.
You're good. Yes.
They did pet this dog the entire time they testified.
That's that will.
And then after, I noticed that they received little stuffed dogs after their testimony, and I think from the trainer, and the dog's name was Fancy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So you had no idea. You know?
No,
No
we did
idea.
not know that.
No
Nope.
idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So dogs are amazing. So when you mentioned therapy, dogs
They
are.
are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
poor
think what else. We covered Lisa Moses' husband, you know, and she did do, I want to say, an incredible job.
She did.
Can you imagine going through that and then being a defense attorney on that case? And then those daughters did an incredible job. I mean, there were so many people that really came through, and all of you. So for justice for Angela. So I just want to commend all of you.
Oh, thank
And please
you.
tell your fellow jurors thank you from me as well.
Absolutely.
course.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just
Trying to think if there are any other questions like that or anything else I can share with you.
I have a question for you, Lauren.
Yeah, please.
Because, you know, we were so guarded and shielded, and, you know, so when we would leave the courtroom, I mean, I always wanted to know if Tulliver Craig, right, the oldest son or the only son, we noticed, the jury noticed that he would move back and forth, right? He would sit on this side and sit on this side and sit on this side and sit on this side. Was there any interaction with James Craig towards any of his family members before we came in, like, you know, before court started?
Nothing major. Nothing major, but yes, he would look back. That's when I would see him mostly, you know, and I did see him red-faced like all of you. I can't tell if they're tears or not. That's why I asked. I noticed him looking at Tolliver the first day before you came in, and he would try to look back and communicate. You know, his parents were there every day too. And I noticed that as well with Tolliver. I noticed that someone sort of mentioned that he tried to do that, you know, that he would try to go back and forth, sort of just showing how this family, in my opinion, this is my take on it, just sort of how this family is sort of divided and torn apart, you know, because of this man.
Like he's hurt too. I think he loves his grandparents.
Oh yeah.
And so how tough for him to be like in between. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And the only son, you know, the only son in this family.
Yeah.
And that's his father. You know? Yeah. So so much. Yeah. And just a lot of, you know, covering while you're gone, you know, the objections, and again, the dog was one part of that while you were out of the room. Trying to think what else I mean, there were a lot of things, but I'm trying to go back and think of what I saw to tell you. I actually felt you guys did an outstanding job. There was once where the defense was chastising, you know, one of the jurors for falling asleep. And I thought, oh my gosh, like they've had like more white noise than they've had testimony today. You know, let's cut him a break. And then, of course, you know, the last weeks I missed. I was actually at other sentencings and being a mother, so I couldn't make it back. But but I was watching every day. So those are the things I remember. But So any other questions or anything else you want to say? Any of you want to say?
Yeah, I do. I just want to say again about Lisa Moses and Ashley. We talk about their professionalism and a losing hand, but the respect of the manner that they cross-examined certain witnesses was so sensitive and sincere that for me, it's just like kudos. Like when they cross-examined the daughters and they cross-examined the brother and Tony, the sister, they have to ask these questions, and we all know this. And I get a little triggered, I get a little cringy, but they did a heck of a job. They really, really did.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
agreed.
I just want to add that, like,
Agreed.
you know, their client obviously is guilty, you know, but they did a really good job.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
A good defense is so important, and they have a tough job, and they had a tough job. Yeah.
they're-
They made sure
they're
he
not
had a
bad
fair
people.
trial.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
That's the perfect.
Which will
word.
help with everything in the end. That helps Angela and
Yes.
justice in the end.
Yes.
Mhm. Right. Yeah. Well, thank you. Anything else? Anything else, Juror 14 or Juror 1?
I don't
No,
think so.
nope, it's been covered.
We hope they
Okay.
heal.
Yes.
We hope the family heals and Angela's
Yes.
legacy, because she has a large legacy. Hopefully it goes on
Yes. It will.
and you know, they're good. They have a lot of people that love them.
Yep.
You know,
Yes.
her legacy.
Yes. And the
I believe it will. I believe it will. And you're right. We saw that in that trial and in that sentencing, the legacy Angela has left, and it will go on for generations, her love and light.
There's a saying out there that the grief will never end, but a new normal will appear. So
So well said.
that's what we feel. Well, that's what we hope for the family.
Thank you.
I say with grief, all the colors are just dimmed.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is personal, but I lost my dad, and I'm like, oh, all the colors are dimmed, but I'm still so loved, and my life will be good, and they're so loved, and life will be good.
Yeah.
But things are just not as bright.
Yeah.
So well said. Thank you for those parting words. I appreciate you women so much for coming forward, allowing me to talk to you, being willing to talk, and sharing your experience with this trial and being jurors. And thank you for your service.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Lauren. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you. You covered all of this so well. It's great.
Oh, thank you.